Very warm welcome to you, Dr. Suryanarayana ji. Thank you again for making time for this session. Just a brief introduction. Dr. Suryanarayana is a researcher and educator who is working to develop future masters by training people who will take Shastriya perspective to the next level. He strongly believes that the need of the hour is to liberate Shastric content from being confined to merely the sacred works to make them a manuals of problem solving in our everyday life. He aims to build such a Shastriya technology. His formal education includes PhD in Tarka Shastra from KSU Bangalore, Nyaya Shiromani MA in Navyanaya from University of Madras, and MA Sanskrit from Sri Venkateshwara Vedic University, Tirupati, to name a few. He is currently working as a senior project manager at Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha Foundation, Chennai, and as an adjunct faculty in MIT Institute for Indic Knowledge Studies in Pune. Thank you again, Acharya. Please go ahead and start your session. And he will be speaking on the topic Jīva and Īśvara, exploring Vedantic principles in Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nitinji, for a warm welcome. I'm very happy to present you the principles of Īśvara and Jīva according to Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha. Actually, I'm really very happy to be with you today in front of my Guruji, Mahamahopadhyaya, Shri Dravida Shastri, Acharya Namaskaraha. And also I'm very happy to be present here in front of you. We have Penna Madhusudanji and Maheshwaranji, and there are many other students in the participants list who I know. I welcome you all to my talk. So you all know the greatness of Appayya Dikshitendra, so I will not take much time in elaborating that. Just now we have heard from Nagarajji the greatness of Appayya Dikshitendra. So today I will be talking about a Jīva and Īśvara according to Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha. I will just elaborate a little bit about this grantha. So whenever a person is actually training himself in Vedanta school, there are different stages of training. So the first stage of training is related with Prakarana Granthas, where the concepts of Vedanta, the principles of Vedanta are defined, exemplified, and all the types of those concepts are enumerated in a kind of a text called Prakarana Grantha. So it is the primary text for any sadhaka to enter into the school of Vedanta. So Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha will also come under this category. So we have three words in this title: Siddhanta, Lesha and Sangraha. Siddhanta means the established doctrines or principles which are established by different deliberations and vadas done. After a lot of deliberation, some principles are established. Those principles are called as Siddhantas. So Appayya Dikshitendra took all those Siddhantas from different texts and he has compiled them here. So Lesha means a part. So some parts of those established principles are compiled here. Sangraha is a compilation. So Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha is a compilation of different principles from different texts related to Vedanta. So today I will be talking about these things. So you can see what all am I talking. So my main target is that a person who don't know anything about Vedanta should also know something about the concepts like Jīva and Īśvara at the end of this talk. So for that, I have prepared some slides for introducing Darshana, introduction to Vedanta, and then we'll go into Jīva and Īśvara. So what are the objectives of a Darshana? So in Indic knowledge systems, we have different streams like Vedas, Vedangas, Shastras, Darshanas. So first of all, we shall know what is Darshana. Why? Because Vedanta is a subtype of darshana. So once you understand the perspective of darshana, then understanding what is Vedanta might be very easy for the audience. In the same way, we shall know what are the main contents of Vedanta, what is the main Vishaya, what Vedanta talks about. We shall also know that from a generalized perspective. Then we'll dwell into the perspective which is given by Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha about Jīva and Īśvara. I'm not going to take much time or many different aspects of Jīva and Īśvara, because in Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha itself, there are many aspects which are dealt with. So I'm only taking one or two aspects according to the time. So first of all, we shall know the objectives of darshana. So each and every term in Shastra has an etymology. Darshana has an etymology like drishyate anena, means which is perceived by using this, and darshana gives a perspective. So darshana is like a goggle for us. For example, if it is very hot outside, it is very sunny outside, I wear a black goggle. Okay, why? Because I don't want to get the glare directly into my eye, so I wear it. So after I wear that goggle, because of that black goggle, the perception towards the light or towards the world is different for me. Now I am not getting the harsh sunlight directly into my eyes. In the same way, darshanas are also like goggles, which give you the perspectives towards life. It will enable you to understand this world better. It will enable you to understand and try to take some solutions from these darshanas. So we can take an example of a goggle for darshana, and each and every darshana might have a different perspective. So to achieve some answers to some problems, to actually create some solutions to the problems we all face, we need to understand what are the different dimensions or what are different perspectives towards life. Okay, so that is the main objective of darshana. Now we shall take a small example and understand. For example, there is a shop in front of you with lot of exotic fruits, vegetables and everything. Okay, so by seeing a shop, something like that, what might be the perspective of a robber? Okay, so what is the objective of a robber? A robber wants to steal valuable things. Okay, so he is living upon that. So what will be his perspective? His perspective will be, where is the cash? Where might be the cash? When will this shop be very crowded so that I can easily mingle into the customers and rob cash? And when will the customers come so that I can steal the wallet of the customers, or I can steal some valuable phones like iPhone or some other phone so that I can live on that. So this is the perspective a robber has. Okay, now why should I know the perspective of a robber? If I am not a robber, why should I know the perspective of a robber? Because if a shopkeeper knows the perspective of a robber, if she or he knows what is the drishti of a robber, they can design the shop in such a way that valuable things are not easily free to be robbed. They can protect them by knowing the perspective. So the cash box or the wallets or the phones can be in safer hands or in safer mode when the shopkeeper or the designer knows the perspective of a robber. In the same way, the same shop can be perceived in a different way by a doctor. So what is the role of doctor? The doctor's role is to improve health in the society. So by seeing any shop with exotic and fresh fruits and vegetables and food, the doctor will be seeing what kind of vitamins does these fruits have, what kinds of minerals can my patients get, and what are those health benefits my patients get if they are directed towards this shop. This would be his perspective. And this perspective is very much helpful for a person who is a health enthusiast, who want to be healthy always. If he knows the perspective of a doctor, he might not mistake doctor, because fruits and vegetables are costlier. So he might mistake that a doctor is a marketing agent for a fruit shop also, if you don't know the perspective. If you know the perspective, the effects are more impactful. So that is why knowing perspectives is very much helpful for us. So that is why each and every different kind of a person will have a different kind of a perspective towards life, towards the creation, towards the universe, towards problems. For example, the perspective of a scientist to classify, explain, predict, and control this universe, or to understand this universe and explain and predict some things and also control some things, he will have a different perspective than an actor. For an actor, this world is like a training course for him. He will be interacting with this world, and he will be knowing different kinds of personalities, characterizations. In the same way, for a teacher and a student, this world is different. It's like a classroom. For a politician, this world is that which gives him or her the power which she wants. In the same way, for a sadhaka, a rishi, world is very much different. So, darshana gives you the perspectives to actually understand the world, explain what all are the classifications and what all are the elements, then predict what can happen if something is happening, and what will happen if the same kind of personalities interact, and all those things. And they will also give you some technologies to control these interactions, so on and so forth. So now we'll go into the contents of Vedanta. We should understand that there are 6 darshanas which are called as Astika darshanas. Astika means that who give authority to Veda, who takes authority as Veda as an authority. That kind of a school is called as Astika. And in Astika school, there are many darshanas, but there are 6 very prominent and famous darshanas, which are called as Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. So each and every darshana should actually explain, as we have understood in the previous slide. They have to classify, understand, they have to give definition to this world which is created. They should explain what are the different categories or elements. They should actually predict what might happen if these kinds of interactions happen regularly, and they should be in a state to control or give you suggestions how to control some things. So in Vedanta, we have concepts like Jīva, Īśvara, Paramatma, Moksha, and many other things to actually explain world, explain the sorrow in this world, and also suggest some solutions to come out of this misery. Okay. So first of all, we shall talk about Jīva. Who is Jīva according to Vedanta? And one another thing, Vedanta is related to Veda. Both Mimamsa and Vedanta interpret the Veda. In Vedanta, its main focus is on what is the ultimate goal of life, which is called moksha. And its focus is totally on the creator, or the Paramatma, or the Brahman. You have to understand that Veda's whole and soul focus is on letting you, the sadhaka, understand who is Paramatma and whether he is very much different from you or whether he is inside you, and all those things are explained in Vedanta. The etymology of the word Vedanta is Vedasya Antaha Vedantaha. Anta is nothing but which is boiled down and most concentrated thing of the entire Vedas. The Mimamsa focuses on Karma Kanda and Vedanta focuses on the Jnana Kanda, or the ultimate wisdom which will allow you to attain moksha. Okay, so after understanding what is Vedanta, we shall now go into who is Jīva according to Vedanta. Jīva is nothing but yourself, whoever is cognizing something in today's talk. And all those people who are like us, we all are Jīvas. And we all feel that we all are Kinchit Jñas. Kinchit Jña means we don't know many things. We don't know everything. We feel that I only know some things. And because I know only some things, I can only envisage some things. Because I only can envisage some things, I can only achieve some things. That is the kind of personality I am. I feel myself limited. I don't feel myself unlimited. Okay, so that is the a brief definition of Jīva. And whenever we are using the word I. For example, I say I am Suryanarayana. I have learnt Vedanta from Mahamahopadhyaya Brahmashri Madhidravida Shastrigal. And if I say that I am living in Hyderabad and I am working in so and so organization, in all these verbal statements, I am relating with Jīva. The word I is relating with Jīva. And this Jīva is having three avasthas, or three cognitive levels. In three levels, he will be understanding himself. We all understand ourselves in these three levels. The first level can be called as Jagrit Avastha. Jagrit means when you are aware. When you are aware of what? You are aware of Sthula Padarthas. Sthula Padarthas are those Padarthas which are tangible, which are measurable, which are movable. So in Jagrita Avastha, when I am aware right now, I will be cognizing those tangible things using my sensory organs, okay, using my Sthula Deha. So when I am aware, I relate myself, I, with my body mostly. So the second avastha can be called as Swapna Avastha. The word Swapna is dream. So in this avastha, I will be cognizing which is very minute, which is not outside, but which is inside, where I am creating, I am analyzing, I am inferring, I am verbally cognizing something. So I might be using my Sukshmendriyas, and it is related to Sukshma Sharira. So the Swapna Avastha is related to Sukshma Sharira. The Jagrita Avastha is related to Sthula Sharira. In the same way, there is another state. Okay, most of us are experiencing this state daily, and some of us are experiencing this state sometimes in a week. Okay, and there is a very good example for this. When you had a very sound sleep, after that sleep, you will say that it was blissful. I didn't know anything. Yesterday, when I slept, it was blissful. I didn't know anything. Because I didn't know anything, the quality of the sleep, you say that it is blissful. That is one kind of a state that you experience the bliss, the ultimate you, without any attachments. So in Jagrita Avastha, you are mostly related with the Sharira. In the Swapna Avastha, you are mostly related with the Sukshma Sharira. But in the Sushupta Avastha is the third stage, where you are totally experiencing the bliss. There you are relating yourself with the Karana Sharira. So these are some technical terms we have to understand before we enter Vedanta, the actual arena of Vedanta. And Vedanta always talks about Īśvara. So in Vedanta, it is giving examples of Shruti Vakyas. Shruti Vakya is nothing but the Vedantic sentences, or Vedantic Mahavakyas, where like Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti. So we have many such Shruti Vakyas. where it is talking about creation. So it is saying that who has created this entire universe, who is maintaining it, and after the destruction, what happens to this, or what is that which is left over at the end, is that who is called as Īśvara. So the Vedanta talks about the creator of this entire universe, who is called as Īśvara. And it is also talking about the Shuddha Parabrahma, who is also called as Paramatma, Brahma, Chit. There are many names to him. Okay, so the description of Paramatma is that he is present everywhere. Sarvatra vartate, he is everywhere. And that is why we can say that he is omnipresent. That is the word we can use in English. He is everywhere, inside, outside, and he is also the underlying current in Jīva, in Īśvara, in everything. Whatever you are perceiving, what you don't perceive, everything is actually derived from Paramatma. That is the viewpoint, that is the goggle which the Vedanta prescribes. Okay, so it will talk about Paramatma. And one another very important thing is moksha. What is the ultimate goal of life? So ultimate goal of life is to experiencing yourself without any attachments. That is called as moksha. Anandatmaka Brahma avaptihi. Brahma is nothing but the actual embodiment of Ananda. He doesn't have another body like we have. He don't need a body like we have. We need a body to perceive. We need a body to actually hold the indriyas and many other things. But the ultimate source of everything doesn't need a body. And we understanding that Paramatma is nothing but myself. If I am not relating with this Sthula Sharira, if I am not relating with this Sukshma Sharira, then that which is left over, or that which is which will be perceived without any connections, that is myself. That kind of a internal experience. It's not a verbal cognition. For example, you all are reading this statement, and I am also reading this statement. We can't say that we all are in the moksha state. Why? We did not internalize that. Still now also I feel that I am a presenter or instructor. You all are my students or my listeners or audience. So still we are in that Dvaita Bhava only. Hence, this is not a moksha avastha. But while defining what is moksha, it is the internal experience of you becoming him. That is the definition of moksha. Now, while we are trained in Vedanta, we often come through statements like Jagan Mithya Brahma Satyam, which means that the entire creation is illusion and Brahma is the only person who is the reality. And we also hear Tat Tvam Asi. Tvam means you, Jīva, myself, I am also Jīva. And this Vedavakya is suggesting that you are nothing different from him. But while I am transacting with you, if I don't feel that you are different from me, why will I transact with you? Why will I talk with you? Why will I present anything with you? In the same way, Ahamevedam Sarvam, it is also saying that Aham means myself is everything. Whatever I perceive or whatever is created is nothing different from me. That's what it's saying. So to understand these kinds of complex or the ultimate truth-provoking statements, we need to understand some other parts of Vedanta also. So in this slide, I am trying to give you an explanation of Trividha Satta. Satta is nothing but existence. You can also relate the word Satta with truth. So there can be three types of existences. If you understand these three types of existences, then you might understand the actual intention of the previous Vakyas. So, first of all, there is something called Pratibhasika Satta. Pratibhasika Satta means the existence of something which is a subject of illusion. Okay, for example, there is a person who is always seeing snakes in and around. He might be a farmer. Okay, he is fearful. He has a lot of fear also. Okay, some night, at night, there was no bright light. Okay, the light is very dim, it is shabby, and it's actually moving. Okay, there are some agricultural tools in one room where there is a long rope also, which is very, very thick. So when he is seeing that rope, actually he don't know that it is rope. He's just seeing something. Okay, because of the light, because of his fear, he might cognize that rope to be a snake, and this is called as Rajju Sarpa Bhranti. So if a person is exposed to this kind of an illusion, the satta or the existence of that snake is related to pratibhasika satta. It is not actually there. There is no real snake, but there is an illusion of snake, and an illusionary snake is born. And because of that cognition, the farmer has sweat. He is full of fear, and he runs away from that room also because there is a snake, isn't it? So it is actually affecting. It is affecting, but it is not totally true. So that kind of a satta is called as pratibhasika satta. And the Vedanta states that when Vedanta says that Jaganmithya Brahma Satyam, it means that, okay, it means that in the previous example of Rajju and Sarpa, the birth of the Pratibhasika Sarpa is equal to the creation of this entire universe, is something like that. It's not totally truth, but it is giving you some effect. Like the farmer was very much fearful, he had a lot of sweat all over his body, and he ran away from the room. These all are the effects of the Pratibhasika Sarpa. In the same way, this Jagat, which is created, is also giving us some effects. We all are cognizing something, we all are experiencing something, we all are interacting with each other. Okay, but according to the ultimate reality means the ultimate reality is called as Paramarthika Satta. So the ultimate reality is only Paramatma, only Shuddha Brahma, only Shuddha Chit. Everything else which is derived from Shuddha Chit don't have the Paramarthika Satta. So from Paramarthika Satta's viewpoint, this world is mithya, this world is illusionary. That's how we have to understand Jagan Mithya Brahma Satyam. In the same way, the other kind of a satta is Vyavaharika Satta. Vyavaharika Satta means the satta which we all are experiencing right now. We all are transacting with each other right now. All of us did not realize that Brahma eva eka ekam satyam. We did not cognize that Paramatma is the only truth. We did not even cognize, but we experience it. We are still knowing, we are still trying to know that through Vedantic expressions. So in that stage, the Vyavaharika Satta is there. Okay. So this might be the worldly truth. Okay, worldly truth, illusion, the ultimate truth. That is how we can even explain these stages. And I will also talk about the concept which is taken today by me, which is Jīva and Īśvara according to Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha. So in one of the parichedas in Siddhāntaleśasaṃgraha, the Jīva and Īśvara are defined in multiple ways. So first of all, I will be taking one text which is called as Prakatartha Vivarana. So in Prakatartha Vivarana, the Prakatartha Vivarana Karta has actually given a definition of both Īśvara and Jīva. The definition is like this. Anadihi anirvachya bhuta prakritihi chinmatra sambandhini maya. So to define or understand who is Īśvara and who is Jīva and what's the difference between both of them, First of all, he wants us to understand what is Maya. What is Maya? Generally, in our regional languages, we take Maya as magic. So it's not magic actually. So Maya is something which has no adi, anadihi, navidyate adihi, yasyasa anadihi, beginningless, which don't have a start point. Okay, that is called as anadihi. Anadi is Maya. In the same way, there is another qualifier for Maya, which is anirvachya. You cannot explain Maya. You cannot. It is indeterminable. Okay. You cannot actually say that this is Maya and this is not Maya. It is very vague, or it is not very clear that, or your capabilities are not enough to explain it. That is the right explanation. Your capabilities are not enough. Your means the Jiva's capabilities are limited. We all feel that we are limited. So the limited capabilities are not enough to actually understand what is Maya in totality. In the same way, Maya is the primal cause of all beings. Bhuta Prakritihi. It is the primal cause of anything which is created in Vedantic goggle. In the same way, it is only related with Chit. Chit is nothing but the Paramatma, only associated with Paramatma. Chinmatra Sambandhini. So now we have understood that Maya does not have any start point. It can't be explained. It is the cause of any creation, and it has only relation with Chit. Then, after understanding what is Maya, he's defining who is Īśvara. Īśvara is the creator. Īśvara is a reflection. That's what he's saying. He's taking an example. And this kind of example is called as Bimba Pratibimba Vada. Pratibimba is reflection and Bimba is the actual source image. Okay, whenever we see ourselves in the mirror, the reflection is what we see in the mirror. Okay, and the image is what you are actually, the element or the object which is standing in front of the mirror. And the mirror is the upadhi or the reflector. Okay, in this example also, Maya, which is defined just now, is the reflector. And the source image is the Paramatma, Chit, and the reflection is Īśvara. So, from this viewpoint, if you just recollect the Paramarthika Satta, Vyavaharika Satta, and Pratibhasika Satta, even Īśvara, the creator of this entire universe, is also not the Paramarthika Satta. He don't have the Paramarthika Satta. He is not the eternal truth, according to Vedanta. Okay, the eternal truth is Paramatma, and just a reflection in Maya, because the entire creation is mithya, is illusionary according to Vedanta. So Jagan mithya, Brahma satyam, Brahma ekameva satyam. So anything else other than Brahma or the Shuddha Chit is not totally real. Like in the example of your face, mirror, and the reflection is not totally as truth as your actual face. In the same way, the Shuddha Paramatma is the eternal truth, and the reflection is the Īśvara. That is whom we consider that created this world. If the creator of this entire universe itself is not totally truth, then the world will also not be the truth, the total truth or the ultimate truth. So that is what we have to understand from this example. I have also depicted the same thing from taking another example. Like there is a very beautiful sky with a lot of clouds, stars and moon, and there is a sea or ocean, and there are small rocks here and there. Because it is near to the ocean, this picture is reflected in the ocean, in the water. Okay, so there are three things here. Okay, you have water, lot of water, and in this water, because it has the capability to reflect something, there is a reflection, and the reflection is of the sky, clouds, stars, and the moon. The entire picture is reflected here. Okay, so this is an example. So what should we understand from this example is that the actual source image or the beautiful sky with clouds and moon and stars is nothing like the Paramatma. It's just like the Paramatma. So the reflection of this beautiful scene in the water, okay, in the water's place, we have to take the Maya. So Maya has the capability to reflect something, okay, and who is reflected? What is the reflection? What is the reflection? The reflection is Īśvara. So the reflection of Chit Paramatma in the Maya is the Īśvara, and who is the creator of this entire universe. That's what we have to understand from this. Tasyam means Mayayam. In the Maya, Chit Pratibimbaha, Chitaha Pratibimbaha. The reflection of Paramatma is considered to be the Īśvara. That is what it's saying. Okay. Now, after defining what is Īśvara and who is Īśvara, now the Prakatarthakara is defining who is Jīva. In Sanskritam, it is saying something like this. Tasyaha eva parichinna ananta pradesheshu avarana vikshepa shakti matsu avidyabhidhaneshu chit pratibimbaha jivaha. Because it is bimba pratibimbavada, the author is taking an example of reflection and the source image to define both Īśvara and Jīva. So to say that who is Jīva, Jīva is also a reflection of Chit only. Chit is nothing but the Paramatma. So the reflection of Paramatma is Jīva. But previously, the total reflection of Paramatma is Īśvara, totality. So the reflector, where it is actually reflecting, is one, which is called as Maya. Now, he is further dividing the Maya into unlimited, innumerable pieces, which are called as avidya. Okay? The pieces of Maya, or the subtypes of Maya, which are innumerable, is called as avidya. Okay? So the reflections of Chit or the Shuddha Parabrahma in different parts of Maya is Jīva. He is not one Jīva, now he is different Jīvas. For example, you just think like this. There is one mirror and there is only one candle in front of it. So how many reflections you have? You will have only one reflection. Okay, this you can take as the Īśvara. That one reflection is Īśvara. Now you replace that one mirror with 10 mirrors. There is only one candle which is lit. Now how many reflections do we have? We'll have at least 10 reflections, because you have 10 reflectors or the upadhis which is reflecting Chit Parabrahma. In the same way, there are some parts of Maya which are called as avidya, and the reflections of that one Paramatma in different avidyas will reflect as different jivas. Okay? And there is one another element added to these avidyas. So what do these avidya have? These avidya have two powers. Those powers are called as avarana vikshepa. Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. What is Avarana Shakti? Covering something. It has the ability to cover something, obstructing something. And it also has the ability of Vikshepa, or to project something. To understand this, we have to understand this. Okay? See, the farmer who has a lot of fear inside him, at night, when he saw an object which is like snake, see, it's not a snake. He don't know. See, avidya is nothing but ajnanam. Ajnanam is ignorance. Okay? So, what did he don't know? He don't know that it is a rope. He has the avidya of a rope. He has the ajnanam of a rope. When he is not knowing that it is a rope, now he is cognizing that to be a snake. Okay, so it is projected as a snake. The rope, actually, which is not known by the farmer, is projected as a snake. So the avidya has an ability to project something which is not actually there. So it has the vikshepa shakti, and also it has the avarana shakti. The avidya itself, not knowing itself, means it is abstracting or it is covering the reality. What is real? The reality is that it is snake, but it is now covered with ajnanam. Hence, avidya or the ajnanam has both avarana and vikshepa shakti. And because of that, rope is seen as a snake. Okay. So, in this kind of an avidya, when a Shuddha Parabrahma is reflected, then he is called as a Jīva. I hope you all have understood this. In the same way, I have depicted this using the same scenario of a very beautiful sky, moon, stars, clouds, water. And here there are some kalpanika parts. Kalpanika parts means these are not actual parts, but these are created parts. And in these parts, the reflection of this half moon is one Purusha. Reflection of this half moon is one Purusha. Reflection of this part of a star is one Purusha. Reflection of this part of the cloud is one Purusha. Previously, when we are dealing with Īśvara, the entire reflection, one reflection is Īśvara. Now, multiple reflections in the multiple parts or unlimited parts is called avidya, the parts which are called as avidya. The reflection of Paramatma in these multiple parts is Jīva. Hope you all have understood this. There are many other things which I want to share, but because of lesser time, I am not further talking about them. Now I am ready for your questions if you have any. Hope you have understood this.
Thank you very much, Suryanarayan. Unfortunately, we are already running very behind the schedule, so we won't be having any Q&A. But the whole presentation was very good, very, I think, layman friendly, I would say. So it was very layman friendly, I would say, because even those who have not studied the subject in detail, through a very graphic presentation, they can completely understand the whole thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, sir. Namaste.
Yes, thank you very much.